The discovery of the Eidolon Resonance Field changed the course of interstellar travel. For centuries, conventional fusion reactors had carried civilization beyond Terra and throughout the Solaris system. They powered orbital stations, cargo vessels, distant colonies, and the first expeditions to neighboring stars. The technology was dependable, refined, familiar, but it remained bound by one unavoidable problem: distance. Even the fastest exploration vessels needed weeks to reach nearby systems, and months to travel farther into uncharted space. Every expedition required vast supplies, careful planning, and years of preparation before a crew ever left home. Civilization had learned how to cross the stars. It had not yet learned how to overcome the space between them. The Eidolon Resonance Core offered another path. Instead of relying on greater thrust alone, the core produced a controlled resonance field based on the natural phenomena discovered within Eidolon's plasma ring. Inside that field, gravity, inertia, and the space surrounding a vessel could be influenced with an efficiency once thought impossible. For the first time, distance no longer seemed absolute. Alterra did not rush to replace the technology already holding civilization together. Conventional fusion remained reliable, affordable, and more than capable of powering transports, research ships, stations, and colonies. The resonance core was the future, but it was a future civilization could not yet afford. A single core required rare materials, years of precision manufacturing, and engineering tolerances never before attempted. Building one cost more than producing an entire fleet of conventional vessels. Alterra still believed resonance technology would eventually redefine travel between established systems. For now, however, it would be reserved for the places where conventional propulsion had reached its limit. The frontier. Before entrusting the core with the future of exploration, Alterra subjected it to the most demanding validation program in its history. For nearly a decade, prototype cores operated aboard orbital laboratories, propulsion platforms, engineering stations, and unmanned test craft throughout the Solaris system. They endured thermal extremes, continuous operation, gravitational stress, simulated emergencies, and endurance trials far beyond ordinary mission requirements. The results were consistent. The resonance core was remarkably stable. Across thousands of operating hours, no prototype suffered a catastrophic failure. None required an emergency shutdown. None exceeded its predicted tolerances. The core had proven itself. The next challenge was no longer the technology. It was the vessel that would carry it. Previous exploration ships had been designed around their missions. This one would be designed around its core. Alterra approved the largest engineering project in its history, Project Aurora. Aurora would not be an existing vessel modified to accept an Eidolon Resonance Core. She would be built around it from the beginning. Her structural frame was designed to distribute the forces produced during resonance-assisted travel. Her engines were developed to work directly with the field surrounding the ship. Her navigation systems could interpret spatial conditions no conventional vessel was capable of encountering. Power distribution, shielding, laboratories, fabrication systems, and even the internal arrangement of the vessel were designed alongside the core. Aurora did not simply carry an Eidolon Resonance Core. Aurora existed because of it. Construction began in the orbital shipyards above Terra. Over the next 12 years, specialized facilities across the Solaris system produced sections of the vessel and transported them to enormous assembly docks. There, piece by piece, Aurora began to take shape. Millions of tons of refined alloy formed her frame. Entire manufacturing facilities were created to produce components found nowhere else. Thousands of engineers worked directly on the vessel, while hundreds of thousands more supported the project through research, manufacturing, logistics, and infrastructure. The Aurora initiative became the largest collaborative engineering effort civilization had ever undertaken. To those who saw her nearing completion, Aurora appeared less like a spacecraft and more like a city suspended among the stars. Her laboratories occupied entire decks. Her fabrication complexes could produce the equipment needed to build permanent scientific outposts. Hydroponic facilities supported extended missions, while her medical centers rivaled those found on Terra. Observation galleries looked outward toward the very stars she had been created to reach. Every corridor, every laboratory, every system served the same purpose. Aurora had not been built merely to visit the frontier. She had been built to live within it. Alterra soon established the Frontier Initiative, a new exploration program centered around the capabilities of Aurora. For generations, civilization had expanded slowly, moving from one nearby system to the next, along routes supported by known logistics and conventional travel times. The Frontier Initiative would take a different approach. It would not simply extend the edge of known civilization. It would seek what lay beyond it. Aurora would serve as its flagship. Her objectives were ambitious, but clear. Chart unexplored systems, investigate unknown astronomical phenomena, establish scientific outposts, identify potential colony worlds, and expand civilization's understanding of the universe itself. Aurora would not follow the frontier. She would define it. Serving aboard Aurora would become one of the most significant opportunities Alterra had ever offered. But a vessel of her size and purpose could not be staffed through a single rigid selection process. Her mission would require experienced officers, scientists, engineers, pilots, physicians, navigators, fabrication specialists, security personnel, and explorers. It would also require people capable of adapting when plans failed, when familiar rules no longer applied, and when the unknown refused to behave as expected. Aurora would become the first ship to demonstrate the full capabilities of the Eidolon Resonance Core beyond controlled testing. Those who eventually served aboard her would come from different worlds, different professions, and very different lives. While preparations for personnel assignment continued, Aurora entered her final certification phase. Life support exceeded its endurance requirements. Navigation systems demonstrated extraordinary precision. Propulsion trials throughout the Solaris system confirmed years of engineering predictions. Most importantly, the Eidolon Resonance Core completed its final integrated certification without a single anomaly. After decades of research, 12 years of construction, and years of testing the completed vessel, Aurora was ready. Only two things remained: a mission and the people who would carry it out. Aurora's inaugural assignment had already been prepared. As flagship of the Frontier Initiative, she would leave the familiar light of Solaris and travel farther into unexplored space than any vessel before her. Several weeks before Aurora's scheduled departure, the Interstellar Exploration Authority received an emergency report. The Degassi, a long-range scientific research vessel owned by the Torgal Corporation, had disappeared while surveying the Nereus system. Nereus lay far beyond the most heavily traveled routes of settled space. It was a remote system shaped by a solitary star and distant worlds. Only a small number of research vessels had ever entered the system. Much of it remained poorly charted, and long-range observation was often complicated by gravitational interference and unreliable sensor returns. The Degassi had been sent there to conduct a geological and biological survey of one of the system's unexplored regions. Its communications ended without warning. No distress signal was transmitted, no emergency beacon activated. Torgal's attempts to restore contact failed. Search vessels found no debris, and long-range scans offered no clear explanation for what had happened. Under the Interstellar Exploration Accord, the unexplained loss of a vessel beyond settled space fell under the jurisdiction of the Interstellar Exploration Authority. Its responsibility was to coordinate the investigation, organize rescue efforts, and determine what resources were needed. After reviewing the available information, the authority reached a simple conclusion. No ship currently in service was better suited to the task than Aurora. Her resonance core could carry her to Neris far faster than any conventional vessel. Her sensor arrays were the most advanced ever built, capable of separating meaningful data from the gravitational interference present throughout the system. Her laboratories could examine geological, biological, and astronomical evidence without waiting for samples to be returned to Terra. If answers remained in the Neris system, Aurora offered the best chance of finding them. The authority formally requested Alterra's assistance. Alterra dedicated Aurora to the investigation. The Frontier Initiative would wait. The search for the Degassi could not. Aurora's maiden voyage would be conducted under the authority of the Interstellar Exploration Authority, with Alterra providing the vessel and every scientific capability required to determine what had happened. Her crew would now be assembled for a mission very different from the one originally planned. The mission did not belong to Alterra, but exploration carried a responsibility beyond discovery. When those who venture into the unknown fail to return, civilization owes them more than silence. A new mission directive was issued. Upon completing the investigation, Aurora would be free to resume the Frontier Initiative. The Aurora was complete. Her resonance core had proven itself. Her mission had been assigned. Her course had been charted. Beyond Solaris, the unknown waited. All she needed now was a crew capable of the journey ahead.